Hi, I'm EllaAradia, and welcome to your Psychic Tarot love reading. This reading is for my Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces water signs. The timestamps are below, where we'll be taking a deeper dive into your person's hidden feelings for you. This is a love reading, and it's for those of you who are already connected with someone, even if you are currently in no contact with your person. This will be a very specific message, so it may not resonate for all of you. If it feels right, then it's meant for you. Otherwise, you may want to check out the readings for your other placements, so Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And before we jump in, a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoy this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Cancer, let's dive in. Always like to tune into the energies first, Cancer, before I start pulling cards, just to see what gets shown to me. I keep hearing the words give love a chance, and I very much get the sense that some of you may have found yourselves recently single. And I feel like there's someone kind of new around you. And there is an invitation here to give love a chance, to embrace this new connection. Let's just look at your overall energies. The Ace of Swords, some kind of new beginning here, a fresh start. You showing up differently, seeing things differently. It might be that, you know, whatever's broken down in the past for you has been quite a challenging thing to get through. And it's taken a little bit of time for you to really understand, you know, why all of that happened, and understand the soul lessons to be able to, you know, really get to this Ace of Swords, which is all about, you know, seeing things in a new way, fresh perspectives and understanding. But I do see somebody new around you, and it may be someone you've connected with, or maybe it's someone that you're just aware of that's, you know, around your energy field right now, because I see someone kind of almost like circling you and looking at you from afar. And if you have connected, it does feel like quite a recent thing to me. Your person's view of you, the Three of Swords, their feelings towards you, the Queen of Wands. So there's definitely an attraction there. There's definitely that fire energy and that passion. Their intentions towards you, Temperance, card of healing, of moderation. I almost get the sense that, you know, with this being, you know, their view of you, I feel like they're picking up something in your energy, you know, picking up some sadness in you. And, you know, it may be translating a little bit into, you know, perhaps you're not fully open, maybe it's not the right time for you. Because I do feel like that's something that they are kind of picking up in your energy, which is why with their intentions here, you know, they're going to take one step at a time. And, you know, this is a card of moderation, of balance and healing. And, you know, this isn't the energy of somebody kind of rushing in and going all in really, really quickly. I feel like they're going to just take their time. But this is someone who, you know, really does have a strong attraction to you. They feel very open. They feel like a very kind of bright soul to me. Very uplifting. They don't feel to me like they have a lot of baggage. I mean, of course, everybody has something, but their energy feels pretty clear, pretty open. And I do feel if you can just allow yourself, I think you can have a lot of fun with this person. You know, not just this Queen of Wands energy physically, but also, you know, someone that you can have, you know, great banter with and have a lot of fun in that sense. Your feelings towards your situation, you're feeling stuck. I feel like you're still hung up on someone in the past. That's usually what this card represents, you know, feeling stuck. Not really feeling quite able to get past your present position. That card just fell out. In the challenge, we have death. So there is still a little bit of a challenge here, Cancer, around letting go of the past, understanding the higher lessons and, you know, why things perhaps went down the way they did. And a little bit of a challenge in, you know, moving through that, because death is a card of transformation, but it's also a card of growth. You know, whatever gets let go of makes space for something new, a new opportunity, something better. Even if that's you shedding, you know, old layers of yourself or negative limiting beliefs, whatever that might be, there still seems to be a little bit of a challenge here around just kind of getting through that process. And your hidden influence is the Page of Swords. So for some of you, you may still be getting all the facts of you know, the situation that perhaps has recently come to a close. Or it may also be that you are still feeling out this new person and trying to work out a little bit about them. You might be looking at their socials or asking people about them to try and perhaps get a little bit of a feel of, you know, who they are, what they're about. So maybe this is something that, you know, will just unfold very organically when it's meant to, but I definitely feel someone new around you. What lies in your guidance is the Star, a card also, I feel, of healing, of renewal. And that could be a, you know, a renewal inside of yourself emotionally. And, you know, especially after perhaps going through, you know, what might have been a challenging time. You know, the Star always comes in to bring new beginnings, renewal. You move out of a difficult time, hopefully more healed in some way, where you are showing up perhaps in a much more authentic space in yourself, where you are more aligned with what you truly want. You know, it's all about learning from the past, isn't it? And, you know, what has broken down and what can you really learn from that? In what way did you perhaps stay in something that was unhealthy or settle for less? And what lies in your outcome, the Three of Wands, growth, expansion, new opportunity. So there's a big invitation here for you for, you know, some kind of new beginning. And that's why I kind of keep hearing those words, you know, give love a chance, give this person a chance. Obviously make sure you are in the right place and you have processed whatever has gone down in your past. But at the same time, you know, make sure you don't get stuck there, because I do feel like this is some kind of, you know, new opportunity coming in for you, a new connection, someone more healthy, without all of the baggage, without all of the issues. So let's just get your person's hidden message. So this is more for those of you who are in some kind of no contact situation. I know I crossed the line with you. So whoever this is in your past, I feel like this is their message. I want to tell you how I feel. I feel you leaving me behind. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. So Cancer, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helped. We are going to move on to Scorpio. Scorpio. Also feeling some new love coming in. Recent new connection. Okay, Scorpio. Just want to tune into the energies a little bit first before I start pulling cards here, Scorpio. I see someone new around you, but I'm also feeling from your energy a little bit of a held backness, a little bit of a guarded energy in you. So not feeling quite safe or quite ready to fully open up to whoever this new person is. With your overall energies, we have the Seven of Swords. It's often a card of, dishonesty, of, someone sneaking around in the background, moving in, let's say, quite a strategic way, but definitely not in the energy of trust, which is also what this card often represents. It usually comes up when there's trust issues, whether that's inside of yourself, Scorpio, or within the connection. Your person's view of you, the Seven of Pentacles. You may be in a moment of a pause with each other, because, this is an energy of taking a step back and looking at, what you have and reassessing, reevaluating. And to me, this really just, I really feel that that's you, and you being guarded here, Scorpio. And I do feel like that may have caused your person to take a little bit of a step back here. I feel like they want more. They're all in. And your held back energy, I feel, is causing them to just kind of reassess the connection here. Their feelings towards you, the Eight of Wands. So for those of you who are in a moment of separation, and of course, this can happen in a new connection, or some of you may, you may have, something may have gone down, taken a step back for a moment. You may be in no contact. But with the Eight of Wands, this is about energy moving and communication channels opening, particularly if somebody's got someone blocked or something like that. This is, that energy moving. It's somebody reaching out. It could be them. It could be you. A message coming in. Their intentions towards you, the Nine of Cups. So now they are starting to mirror your guarded energy, is what I'm feeling. Because the Nine of Cups, it is a card of emotional contentment and happiness. But when you look at the figure on the card, the arms are folded and the legs are a little bit apart. So they are open, but they are also a little bit closed off. And in a love reading, it's not the greatest card in a love reading, because it does kind of say, I'm okay on my own. I don't need anybody. So there is an intention for them to come back forwards to you. But I definitely feel they are going to be doing that with a little bit of a guarded energy. Ultimately, they're protecting their heart, because I feel that on their side, they feel like they've met someone really special, and they're definitely wanting more here, Scorpio. They're wanting something longer lasting, a long-term commitment. And, they're feeling this guarded energy off you. That's caused them to take a step back, to reflect. Reflect on, where is this going? Are we on the same page? And they're still open. You know, there's a part of them that's still open, but I definitely feel they're going to be coming back forward with a little bit more of a cautious energy here. Your feelings towards your situation, the Wheel of Fortune. Could be some kind of karmic connection. And there could be very important soul lessons wrapped up in this connection. You know, often, you know, that's what the Wheel of Fortune does represent. You know, it's often about divine timings, orchestrations, and it's almost like maybe, you know, things have transpired, things have shifted and moved, and somehow brought the two of you together. And, you know, there may be something, you know, quite significant about this. Let's look at your challenge. Heartbreak. What I strongly feel here, Scorpio, is with the Three of Swords there in the challenge, you may have some unhealed wounds from your past here that you have not perhaps fully dealt with. They may be way, way back in your past. But there is a fear here. There's a fear to open up, a fear to open up to love, a fear to be hurt, of, you know, being betrayed. And what lies in your hidden influence is the Ace of Swords, which is all about seeing things differently, getting a new perspective. It's all about new ideas, new ways of seeing things, and new understanding. Because it's so important to really learn from our past, to integrate, you know, the soul lessons, to heal the past, to heal the wounds. And it's important to do that so that you don't perhaps close yourself off to something real and loving that will bring you, you know, that happiness ultimately. So there's an invitation here, Scorpio, to do a little bit of healing and to see if you can, you know, perhaps open up a little bit more to this person. With your advice from the universe, the Six of Wands, a card of recognition, of acknowledgement. I definitely feel that your person is waiting for you to acknowledge the connection in some way, to honor it in some way. You know, that could be by stepping up, some kind of commitment here. And so there is a little bit of a call to action here, Scorpio, with this. And in your outcome is the Ten of Cups. So if you can allow yourself, you know, the potential of the connection is, you know, this Ten of Cups here, this happily ever after, the dream come true, emotional happiness, fulfillment. So let's get your person's hidden message for you. So the hidden message is more for those of you who are in no contact with your person, some kind of no contact situation. Scorpio. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. You were the best thing in my life. I replay our conversations over and over. You speak to me through music. You came closer than anyone. So Scorpio, I'm going to leave that there. We are going to move on to Pisces. So let's see what we have for you, Pisces. Feeling some lessons already here, Pisces, around, you know, knowing your worth and your value. Okay, Pisces, let's jump in. So let me just tune into the energies for a moment before I start pulling cards here. I feel like you are ready for love, commitment, and something long-term. And I do have echoes of your monthly general reading here around, you know, are you on the same page as your person here? Because I feel like they're kind of on the cusp of, on a deeper level, wanting love, wanting that commitment, but there's some fears and insecurities which are holding them back, which I feel like they're not quite able to get through. Doesn't mean that they can't. And I feel like this is someone that's something that they brought into the connection, you know, rather than it being, you know, a reflection on you necessarily. I actually feel like what you're offering is an invitation of for something real here. And, you know, that can be a little bit of a challenge if you're dealing with someone who is, you know, not fully healed in some way, if they're carrying past traumas or heartbreak into the connection. Feel a little bit of a player energy going on. Not sure if they're being completely honest with you about everything. Your overall energies is the Six of Swords. Could be quite a challenging time for you at the moment. As you know, the Six of Swords is all about moving away from challenging times, you know, choppy waters towards calmer shores, to a place of healing. It's about drawing upon your inner wisdom, the wisdom gained from your past experiences, often a card of problem solving as well. You know, so there is a potential here for, you know, there's an invitation here for you know, for you to get through this with your person. As, you know, there's two figures in this boat. So the invitation is still there. It's still on the table. Your person's view of you, Five of Wands. So there may have been a conflict. Also a card of competition. And this is where I'm feeling this player energy. There might be more than, you know, just yourself competing for your person's attention here. I do feel like there's other energies around them. And that is what may have perhaps caused a conflict between the two of you, where you have perhaps called them out on that, is what I'm feeling. And it may not be that, you know, actual physical cheating's happened, but, you know, there might be a little bit of kind of entertaining conversations or flirting or, you know, something like that going on, which of course creates, you know, a lack of trust. And I do get the sense, yeah, something's gone down there between you where you may have called them out. Their feelings towards you is the Two of Wands. They are at a crossroads here. They have some kind of significant choice to make. And this is the invitation that I'm feeling. There is an invitation to step up, to embrace, you know, something healthy with you. And that is where they're at right now. And if you are in no contact, the best thing that you can do right now is allow the space to be there. Let them face the reality of, you know, life without you. Giving that space, you know, allows for that. And it also allows for them to really get in touch with their true feelings. You know, if we keep putting our energy in someone's space, it does make it difficult for them to do that. And, you know, it can create a lot of anxiety because when we feel space, we just want to kind of go in there and fix things. But in this case, I feel like the best thing to do is just let that space be there. And just know that it's not empty, that there is a lot going on. And it's really, really valuable sometimes to allow that. Their intentions towards you, the Hermit, they are going in right now. They are reflecting. You know, this is a card of, you know, soul searching, digging deep and soul searching, and really perhaps looking at what's holding them back here. So in many ways, this is really positive, because if they do come back forward to you, you want them to be all in, and you want them to be willing to really work on things to take it to the next level here. You don't want them to come back in again and they're still kind of, you know, half living a single life. Your feelings towards your person, the Two of Cups. So you see the potential here. You see what it could be. You know, this is soulmate energy, and this is a card of, you know, the kind of connections which are, you know, very deep, mutual, reciprocal connections. So you still see the potential there. And you're ready to step up to it. But what I'm feeling is, you know, that's the point that they're at. Let's look at the challenge. The challenge is the Chariot. Making some kind of move, moving into a place of, you know, more power inside of ourselves. The hidden influence is the King of Pentacles. I do feel like this is the potential that you see in this person, and the potential that they could be if they can get through, you know, their fears and insecurities here. And with your advice from the universe, the Four of Cups. I feel, however, it's not so much about you offering a cup to them right now. I feel like it's almost just allowing for that space, you taking that space, taking that step back and letting them come to you. Letting them come to you if they are truly ready for that. That's what I feel the advice is with this card. And in your outcome, the Ace of Cups, some kind of whole new fresh beginning. Whether that is, you know, within yourself as a solo person, or whether that is actually the renewal of this connection, because it does kind of gravitate towards that. Some kind of, you know, fresh start, renewal, a new emotional beginning where, you know, you're both showing up, you know, in a different space inside of yourselves emotionally. So let's just get your person's hidden message for you. So this is more for those of you who are in some kind of no contact situation here. Okay, Pisces. I bury myself in work to forget you. I love you unconditionally. I'm starting to understand our connection. I like these. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Feels like your person is learning and is growing, and so there is definitely a high chance that they may step forward. So Pisces, I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. Thanks so much for being here. I wish you a great month ahead.